my friends, welcome back. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you're having a great day wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. I hope you're loving yourself, loving the ones you're with, because that is what we are told to do. Guys, today we are going to be talking about a movie from the 1960s, 1969 to be exact. This is about the sexual revolution, and this actually won Elliott Gould. I don't know if it won him or if he got nominated. I can't remember, but this is what he got something special for supporting role. This is directed by Paul Mazursky, and this is Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. This movie, guys, is a wild one. So hit that like and subscribe button before we get started. And this stars Natalie Wood, Robert Culp, Diane Cannon. And this takes place in the 60s, 1969, probably late 60s, during the time when free love and monogamy was out the window. Like, all that kind of stuff was, everybody was exploring their mind with drugs and sex and, I guess not so much violence, but, everybody was kind of trying to open their minds and not be, I guess, as uptight as the 1940s and 50s. I don't know. I wasn't a product of that, right? Or maybe I was. Anyway, guys, this was just a strange film because it's about these two couples. They're best friends. They hang out all the time. One of them's a lawyer. One of them is like a photographer, or he's a documentary filmmaker. That's what he is. And so Bob and Alice, the movie starts off with Bob and Alice. They go to, is it Bob and Alice? No, it's Bob and Carol. Bob and Carol. Alice is there's too many people in this thruffle, or whatever it's called. Truffle, whatever. This thing that they're doing. So they start off going to this, Bob and Carol, they go to this, I guess, free love retreat where, there's people running around naked and opening their minds in the sunshine. And, people it's just it sounds like a bunch of self-help, yoga, yogi, bull hockey. That's what it sounds like. Because you're sitting there watching these people, he's like, I'm really upset at you right now. And because I feel upset, I'm feeling hostile. And it just feels so pretentious. This whole film felt pretentious to me, especially when we get to the place. It's like, okay, so you guys go and you set yourself up in this weird swinger type situation, okay? Because that's what the movie's about, is these couples, Bob and Carol, they go to that retreat. Then Bob goes off on his documentary filmmaking, and he has an affair on Carol. Well, he comes back and he tells Carol, hey, I fooled around on you. And she's like, at first she gets a little upset, but then she's like, you know what? That's okay, because it was just sex. It was just physical. You're not emotionally connected to them. It was just a physical thing. And it's just the rationale behind all of this, it almost makes you look, it's like, so this is where society started to degrade and start this whole thing of being just promiscuous with everybody. And I blame that on the uptightness of our forefathers and things like that, the puritanical nature of things. But this film just propagates so much horse manure about, it's just, sex is just sex and we can be friends. And then, we get to that point in the film where Bob Ted and Alice, he starts having feelings for Carol, and then Bob starts having feelings for Alice, and Alice starts slipping because she is she's not comfortable with any of this at all. In fact, Natalie Wood's character, Carol, she tells Alice, oh, well, he had an affair on me, but it's okay because this and that. And then Elliott Gould's character, he winds up going, he's like, well, if it's okay there, I can do it too. And it just perpetrates a lot of nonsense. It explores, I guess, I'm old-fashioned. I believe in one person. If you're going to be with somebody, be with that person. Don't be sowing your wild oats all over God's green marble. Don't be doing that. We're created to love one person. I mean, we're supposed to love everybody, but intimately love just one person. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like this movie in and of itself is kind of a detriment to that, that theology. But at the same time, I see where they were trying to explore the morally gray areas of that time period of like, okay, well, everybody's doing it, so it's okay for us to do it. And it's showing you, that how that it erodes marriages, because Ted and Alice, they were happy. They were perfectly happy until Bob and Carol brought their manure, brought their horse crap over to their house and was like, let's smoke some pot and do some things. And it's like, no, man, no. That, they're trying to explore that in the film and show that, these actions do have consequences, even though some people are like okay with it. Another couple may be happily married, doing fine, and then you introduce that into their relationship, and it just degrades everything, makes them fall apart. And at the end, we have this, great reconciliation where everybody's like, no, we don't need to have sex with everybody. We don't need to have sex with our friends and their wives. We don't need to do all that. We need to just, because they realize what it can cost them. It can cost them friendships. It can cost them lives, if people get crazy. It's a film that explores, I guess, a very touchy subject. In fact, I'll go as far as to say it's a touchy subject. Monogamy and married life and the swinger lifestyle, and then the whole, free love and sexual expression of the late 60s and 70s. Like, it's a film that is very well acted. It's very well shot, well written, because I feel like that's conversations those weird hippie fools would have had back then about, well, I'm not hostile with you because, you're talking to me about it. And it seems so psychobabble horse crap. And I liked the film, but the subject matter, I guess it's supposed to make you feel some kind of way, right? It made me feel some kind of way. It got me in my feels about, relationships and stuff like that. So the movie did its job. I can see why people regard the film in a high standard, a high regard. I can see why people would do that. It's an excellent film. It just deals with touchy subject matter, guys. But yeah, that's it for Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice and Chris. That's it for me too. I'm done. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, guys. Oh, you can find this streaming on the Criterion channel, by the way, or Criterion app, whatever you use. It's over there. I bought it for like $5 back in the day when it was, on a digital sale. So that's where I watched it, as a digital copy that I own. But you can find it streaming on the Criterion channel, guys. That's it. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. And as always, my friends, I am going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you. And I will see you soon.